Hello, and welcome to the Casino Insiders. I'm your host, Deacon Kane. Well, good morning, everybody, or good evening. Depends on what time of day or night or afternoon you listen to this. I kind of want to get into things. So I want to get all my ads and all that good stuff out of the way. You know, we got to take care of those ads because those are some good people, meaning me. Hey, if you haven't been to Deuces the Shop, please check it out. We've got shirts, we've got apparel. We'd love for you to check it out. Thank you very much. You just got to go to www.thecasinoinsiders.com and click on Deuces the Shop logo. It should be on the homepage. Next, don't forget to check out our blackjack book and our roulette book. Learn about betting, learn about the games, learn about strategy in both. You want to master it? This is a start. Go ahead and check it out. Next book should be Baccarat. Probably be getting that out within the next few months. I'm doing a little more research on that as we go. All right. So, we talked a little bit last week about the political views on why we haven't upgraded the $5,000 jackpot limit. Please send a letter to Janet Yellen. She is the Secretary of Treasury. She has it on her desk allegedly. So it's kind of up to her to put the ball in motion again, apparently. It's been there since allegedly April of 2022. So we're going on almost 2 years. So let's give her a hard time. In a few of my posts on social media, on Instagram and on TikTok, we do have the address up. Again, that's at the Casino Insiders. All right. So we got all that kind of fun stuff out of the way, but we definitely want our gamblers to basically pay less in taxes, just like everybody else should. Okay, now let's talk about the NFL. So I went to go ahead and put all my picks in last week. Got a great story, kind of reiterating what I just reiterated again. And I had a corrupted file. Not sure what I did, how I did, but did not have time to redo it. So I'm just going to give you my picks real super duper quick, all right? So what I did was I actually took the Packers and the 10 points, one there. Took the Lions, one there. I did take KC over the Bills, one there. And I took the Ravens. I mean, I just knew the Ravens were going to stomp Houston. So there we go. That's who I took. I ended up having a 4-0 weekend, which is actually not bad. This weekend's a little trickier. I'm going to kind of pull some stuff out of my derriere, I think. And let's see what we do. So the over-under on the KC-Baltimore game is 44.5 points. The money line for KC is plus 180. Baltimore negative 215. I'm going to take, hold on. Baltimore is favored by 4.5. You're playing in Baltimore. They're both good cold weather teams. It's supposed to be cold there. I'm going to take KC. I'm going to take the points. And I think this is a great bet. I think that Mahomes has too much experience in these situations. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Baltimore's defense is phenomenal, but I think that Lamar Jackson does choke a lot in these types of situations. He's choked in every playoff that he's played in. So let's see what happens. Now, this is literally the Cinderella story. Detroit Lions versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, you all know that I am a die-hard Niner fan. We all know that. No ifs, ands, or buts. Right? Right. Games in San Francisco. Here we go. The over-under is 51.5 points. That, to me, seems a little high because they both got pretty decent defenses. The money line is a plus 280 for the Lions and negative 350 for the Niners. The Niners at this point in time are favored by 7 points. Excuse the whistle on that. My understanding was is they were favored when it opened. I think it was 7.5 points. Well, I got to go with everything against my morals here, saying because the Niners don't cover, but I got to take them. Can't go against them, can't bet against them in this situation. I think this is going to either be one of the closest games ever played in the NFL playoffs, or it's going to be an absolute blowout. We'll find out. And according to, the script writers, it's supposed to be Baltimore versus San Francisco. So I guess we'll see what happens. All right, folks. Some of the betting that's been going on has been crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't know if you guys have been paying much attention to what's going on, but apparently people are betting hundreds of thousands and millions of trillions of dollars and all that kind of good stuff. But there was a bet that somebody was talking about where they bet it was 100,000 to win only like 500,000. And I sat there and I went, why would you do that? That just does not make sense. Don't get me wrong. They won 100,000 only won 50,000. Excuse me there. But they won the 50,000. Now, my question is, I just don't know if that's lucrative or they just didn't know what they were doing, or if that was just something that they wanted to do to bet for their team. I don't know. I just thought that was a little crazy, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, it kind of gives us a chance to kind of move on and move away from the sport of football and move away from America and sports betting here. But what a lot of people don't understand is there is a lot of betting that goes on throughout the world, regardless if it's playing table games, slots, or sports betting. One of the biggest places that sports betting happens, and a lot of people don't realize this, and especially on football, which is not American football, but soccer, is Great Britain. Apparently, that is huge. They love to play their poker, but it is ginormous. According to studies, about 15 billion pounds are lost every year on bets on games. Now, that's pretty crazy. 15 billion pounds, which I think it ends up being like 19 billion US dollars, if something like that. You guys can do the conversion on that. Now, they also like to bet on tennis, horse racing, and cricket, apparently. So that's kind of interesting. What else do they like to bet on? Let's see. Just kind of decided to look this up today because I always thought it was pretty interesting. In Finland, I'm actually going to read this just because I don't want to mess this up. The inhabitants of this small northern country are also famous for their love of gambling. According to studies, about 40% of students like to gamble and play in online casinos at least once a week. Until 2011, it was allowed to play for money for people over the age of 15. Then this age limit was raised to 18. Finns like to visit land-based casinos as well, where they prefer card games. Finns have a wide choice of online game offers. The National Lottery is also available to them. There are casinos registered in other countries, but perfectly adapted for the Finns, having taken into account their preferences. So, basically, the Finnish people in Finland, they like to gamble. They're big-time gamblers. They like their card games. But I thought that was kind of interesting in regards to the age. They had to change the age from 15 to 18 back in 2011, which was 13 years ago. As you know, America is a age-based country where everything you do is based upon your age, just about. You can't drink until you're 21. You have to register for the draft at 18. You don't become an adult till 18. You can't breathe until you're 18. You can't have a driver's license until you're 16, so on and so forth. Oh, and allegedly your insurance will go down at 25. Go figure, right? Or you can rent a car at 25. But what I find interesting at that is that, for us, we're all, yeah, no big deal, no big deal. Apparently, with this back in 2011, this was a big hoopla. People were pretty agitated, especially, teenagers. They were throwing little tantrums because they couldn't gamble on their sports teams, on their soccer teams, on their, what is it? I know I'm going to butcher this. Their jumpers, their ski jumpers. I mean, that was huge. They would bet on their ski jumpers. As you know, the flying fins, they are very, very popular. That's their top sport. All right. Now, this is something that I found kind of interesting. You would think, being an Asian country, that this country would have no problem with gambling. Apparently it wasn't until recently that they allowed it to. Well, you know what? Hold on. Stand by, because I'm going to go ahead and read this for you. You ready? Here we go. Singapore is a quite recent addition to the global gambling industry. Casinos began to open actively in recent decades. However, the rapid pace of their development made Singapore one of the most developed gambling centers in the world. Therefore, very often tourists from other countries come here precisely with an aim of gambling tourism. There are many establishments set here to satisfy the demand. Singapore cares about protecting its citizens, so the entrance fee is quite high, which is a powerful disincentive. Disincentive. Wasn't expecting that. My glasses kind of fogged up. I didn't realize that you had to basically pay a cover charge to go into a casino. So that's an entrance fee. That's actually kind of interesting, because in a lot of stuff that I was reading about Singapore and their gambling, and it was pretty illegal for a few years. So that was kind of, for quite a few years. And so, like they said, it's newly, in the recent decades. So kind of one of those funny little things that you never would have thought of. On the same aspect here, other Asian countries actively involved in gambling industries are China. China's Macau is the leader in gambling revenues. The older generation likes to visit land-based casinos. Young people prefer online format. Well, yeah, duh. Now, Japan, this is an interesting little tidbit. The country is actively expanding its influence in this area. The income of the state from the gambling business, including online casinos, is very large. Japanese gamblers are very fond of playing mahjong, patiko, as well as sports betting. Online casinos are actively gaining popularity thanks to the use of the latest technologies. So, those are some interesting. Patiko is ginormous over there. It's kind of like a slot machine. You use balls, you flip it through, and that's how you win. And you take your balls, your little silver pinballs basically, and you take it in and you cash it in for money. So it's kind of interesting. This is my last country with just kind of some different things. And I never would have thought this either. So here we go. Cyprus, best online casinos, Cyprus, are known all over the world, far beyond the borders of the Republic of Cyprus. And there is a great variety of games among which any gambler can choose any interesting option. There is a large selection of slots on the most diverse themes, with a different number of reels and win lines. Online casinos are in great demand among residents of all countries, without exception, thanks to their accessibilities and the real possibilities to get substantial winnings. The online gambling, we talked about that a few times, and there's a lot of people that do it. A lot of people love to do it. I see people doing it while they're actually playing slot machines. In my casino, they'll be on their phone. They'll be doing both. So it's you talk about an addiction there. It's pretty crazy. And since I'm talking about addiction, let's talk a little bit about 1-800-GAMBLER. Hey, if you do have a gambling problem, please give 1-800-GAMBLER a call. They will be more than glad to help you and get you the proper help needed with your gambling addiction. Wow, folks, we are just about the 17-minute mark. We're getting pretty close to being done. Kind of wanted to talk about something also a little bit funny that happened to me last week. And it was funny, but it wasn't, one of those type of things. Had a guest get mad at another guest because the guest was playing on a machine that they wanted to play. So what they did was they told, we'll call them person A because they're playing the machine, that it was their turn to play and they had to leave. Guest A turned around, looked at him, and started laughing. Guest B did not like that too much. So guest B proceeded to pour their beer on top of them. Now that's just straight up alcohol abuse. Let's be straight up and honest. You do not pour your beer on somebody. That's just alcohol abuse, folks. I don't like alcohol abuse in my casino. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so guest A took their cane and whacked the person upside the head, knocking them out, knocking them to the ground. Now, I was all the way down a little row, and as I was trying to make my way over there, I'm watching this whole thing transpire, except I didn't know about B telling A, so on and so forth. But I saw the beer, and I was like, oh, great, here it comes. And I didn't know that A had a cane. And when I saw the cane come, I started laughing. Due to the fact that, here's the best part. Both women, yes, folks, they were women, were probably in their 80s when this happened. So, I'm speechless too. I was crying, I was laughing so hard, but trying not to because the one lady, I'm falling and I couldn't get up. And she was playing the victim, and I was like, no, you poured your beer on her, she was defending herself, so on and so forth. And so the best part about it was I got our security guys over there, and apparently our cameras had called them over already. So yeah, the lady then ended up, which is B, ended up doing the pouring of the beer. She got in a little bit of trouble, but so did A. They both got booted out for the night. Excuse my voice, folks. I'm gonna take a little drink. This is the best my voice has sounded in probably about 4 weeks or 3 weeks. So That's definitely a plus. But I wanted to end with that kind of funny little tidbit. I know it's not funny, but it is all in the same breath. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I do have a warped sense of humor, so I will not deny that. All right? Alrighty, folks. Again, just a quick little recap. Please go check out the books. It's on Kindle. You get it for free on, what is it, Kindle Unlimited. You can buy it on Amazon. Check them out. Get them. Hey, if you have Kindle Unlimited, like I said, it is free. Go to Deuces the shop, and it's at www.thecasinoinsiders.com. Click on Deuces the shop logo and get yourself some merchandise. Don't forget about drinking around Fremont Street. Did that a time or two, tried it out. Let me tell you, that was way too much fun. Anyway, you guys have a great day, great evening. Hopefully we have some great football games tomorrow. And deuces.